Damilola was a miracle. Her parents, Israel and Kemi, both doctors in their early 30s, had spent nearly a decade walking through the dark funnel of infertility. 10 failed IVFs, 10 rounds of heart attack, every injection, every test, every faint line on a pregnancy stick ended in tears. And then, Damilola. One final shot, and the universe said yes. She was perfect. Big eyes like diamonds, skin that glowed like polished pearls. She had a voice that made strangers stop in their tracks and laugh, that made pain feel like a lie. She was respectful too, the kind of child who greeted elders with a sweet "Good morning, sir," and a tiny courtesy. To her parents, she wasn't just a daughter, she was redemption. But time is greedy, and duty is a thief. By the time Damilola turned 3, her parents were caught in the throes of their demanding hospital schedules. Night shifts bled into morning meetings. Sleep was an expensive luxury, so they decided to hire help. Someone to look after their treasure when they were away. Enter Chizaram, 19, fresh from her village in Imo State. A girl with wide hip, soft eyes, and a body sculpted like temptation itself. They hired her through a distant cousin. She had no experience, but she was quiet, neat, and sweet-spoken. And for the first time in few months, she was perfect. She fed Damilola like clockwork, bathed her with care, sang lullabies that made the little girl giggle. Damilola adored her. Israel and Kemi were pleased. They paid her well and trusted her like family. Until Chizaram began to look at Mr. Israel differently. It started softly, lingering glances when he came home from work. Her voice became softer when she said, "Welcome, sir." Then came the tight-fitting sobs, the deliberate sway of her hips when she walked past him. But Israel, tall, broad-shouldered, and happy, didn't see her. His eyes never wandered. His heart beat only for his Kemi and his darling daughter, Damilola. To him, Chizaram was a background character. To Chizaram, he was the prize. It gnawed at her, the way he melted for his wife, the way he knelt and let Damilola brush his hair with her tiny fingers. She wanted love, the kind of power that plays in his heart. And the more he ignored her, the more she seated. That was when the cracks appeared. She shouted at Damilola when no one was watching. She'd pinch her when the girl spilled juice, hide her toys and call her useless. She began to resent the child. To her, Damilola was competition. Then one rainy Friday afternoon, it happened. Israel and Kemi had left early for a medical conference. Thunder rumbled in the distance. The generator hummed weakly. Damilola was playing in the sitting room, her pink stuffed bunny in her hand. Chizaram stood by the door watching. Her thoughts swirled, dark and heavy. Rage and longing blurred into something twisted. She called out sweetly, "Dami, come, let's take a bath." The girl skipped towards her, her tiny slippers slapping against the tiled floor. Chizaram filled the bathtub halfway, cold water slushing under the dim bathroom bulb. Then, without a word, she picked Damilola up and dropped her into the tube. The girl shrieked, struggling, "Auntie, please, it's cold." Chizaram's face was blank. She held Damilola down with one hand, not intending to drown her, not intending to kill her, just intending to torment her. Her heart was pounding, but her mind was blank. Damilola kicked, her tiny hands flayed, water splashed. Auntie, auntie, please. Then, silence. Chizaram let go. Damilola floated. Eyes closed, lips blue. Dami, she whispered, panic slicing through her. She grabbed the limp body and shook it. Dami, wake up! I was just playing. No response. No pulse. Her hands trembled. No, 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 no. She wrapped Damilola's body in a towel, threw on a hoodie, and ran. Ran like hell was behind her. She didn't sink, just ran. Across the streets, past the suya man, until she reached her boyfriend's house in Oshodi. She didn't tell him what happened, just said she needed to stay for a few days. Meanwhile, back at home, the parents returned. It was Kemi who found her baby, cold, stiff, waterlogged in the bathroom. The scream she let out that night would haunt the neighbors for weeks. Israel broke. The man who had once stood through 10 ivies crumbled like sand. He wailed, cursed, tore his clothes. The neighbors had to hold him down. The police came, but Chizaram was gone. For days, for weeks, they searched, pasted her faces on flyers, sent messages across village. But Chizaram had vanished. Until the dream started. It began with soft whisper. At night, Chizaram woke up to a faint gurgling sound, like someone choking on water. She checked the taps, nothing. Then came the tiny wet footprints on the floor, always leading to her bedside. One night, she woke up to find her room flooded ankle deep. Her boyfriend screamed, but by morning, the floor was dry. Then the nightmares escalated. She'd hear soft giggles in the dark. Auntie, it's cold. The voice was sweet, childlike, laced with pain, just like Dami's before she died. She saw a tiny shadow sitting at the edge of her bed, playing with a soaked stuffed bunny. Chizaram fled again, this time to a church, a deliverance section. But the pastor screamed mid-prayer, "She's with you!" Right there, the lights flickered, the oil shattered, and something invisible pushed her hard against the wall. That night, the boyfriend dumped her. She wandered, slept in parks, tried to escape, but the shadow followed. No matter where she ran, Damilola's ghost was there. Once, at a public toilet, she looked into the mirror and saw a soaking wet Damilola behind her, whispering, "You didn't say sorry, auntie." She screamed, shattered the mirror, slashed her arms in a frenzy. It didn't help. One day, she walked into a police station and confessed everything. "I killed her," she said, laughing and crying at once. "But she won't leave me. She won't leave me." They locked her up. She laughed all through the arraignment. During her sentencing, she giggled. "She's right there," she told the judge, pointing to an empty seat. "She's laughing." They put her in a psychiatric prison, but she kept waking up screaming. They called pastors, priests, babalawos. None could help. She began to talk to herself. "No, Dami, please, don't take my eyes, not again." Then one day, she gouged out her own eyes with her fingernails. No one knew how she did it. When asked, she said her eyes burned when I dumped her. I had to feel it too. She lived, but barely. Eventually, Chizaram's body became skeletal, her skin pale and torn with self-inflicted injuries. She died in a hospital bed, eyes open, mouth wide in horror. The nurse said her last word was, "Sorry." Back in Ikoyi, 2 years passed. Kemi gave birth again, Another beautiful girl. Healthy, glowing, cute. When the nurse placed the child in Kemi's arms, she whispered, "What's her name?" Kemi smiled with tears. "Damilola." The baby opened her eyes, large, almond-shaped, familiar. She googled, reached for her father's nose just like before. Israel froze. Something ancient and warm passed through him. The same laugh, the same smile. He broke down crying. They say the spirit of a child taken too soon sometimes finds its way back. This time, no nannies, only love, only Dami, forever. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button. Do well to subscribe. Leave me a comment. Turn on the notification button. I hope to see you in my next story. Thank you so much for watching.